Hello out there, and welcome to the No Shit Cast. I'm your host, Matt Frazier. Great show coming up for you, folks. In the studio, guest. I'm gonna tell you this whole journey into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has been an amazing one. In addition to getting to experience this sport and the art and everything, I get to meet these really, really cool people. And I got one of those people joining me in the studio today. And it turns out, and this is kind of let me set this up a little bit, I suppose. This is sort of how it works out for me, right? I'm in here and I go to the class and I'm rolling with this really, really super nice guy who's obviously got some experience, which I hope we get to talk about. And then I end up friending him on Facebook, and I find out that he's got this entire other life that I didn't know existed. Then we're going to get him to talk about that too. But Anthony, thank you for being on the show. Now I'm going to have you properly pronounce your last name for posterity here.
No problem. It's Hämäläinen.
Okay.
So like
Hämäläinen.
Perfect. There you go. You're like a Finnish guy.
Oh, that's it, man. I'm in the club.
It's pretty easy.
So he's, in addition to being a martial arts practitioner, yes, of anybody that's belted to me in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is some sort of epic creature anyway, because I'm not sure I'll ever see one. You know, it's kind of where I'm at.
Well, that's not true. I think you'll see one.
But and then in addition, to find out you have this crazy life as a lead singer for I'm going to say a black metal or death metal band.
It's like we're considered melodic death metal, but we really, I mean, it depends on which band you're talking about too. Like that's the other fucked up part, is that we have. Can I cuss on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just want to make sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the other fucked up part, is like I'm in so many different projects that like each one has a different style, different sound. And most of them, the one thing has in common, I'd say, is we kind of do a bit of everything. Most bands I play with.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now I see that you also. It looks like you work with a lot of different groups and you collaborate.
Yeah.
But you have a primary group that you tour with, right?
Yeah. There was a couple. Yeah. The Armageddon was the band, and it's a band that was based in Sweden, and then moved to New York after a few years of being inactive. Chris Amott, who's like, he was in our kind of claim to fame is our guitarist was in a band called Armageddon, which is like quite big in the metal scene, and he's one of the founding members of that band. And his brother was also in this band with him, and he was in Carcass, which is another legendary band from England. It was in death metal scene, and they had guys from Napalm Death in that band, and still play today, those bands. And so we had kind of a little bit of a legacy from the people who were in the band and stuff like that. So we got to tour some pretty cool tours and do some pretty cool shows.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then did some other bands as well before that did some touring, played some shows.
So walk me through this. How do you get from A to B? I mean, how did you get from, because you grew up in Central Ohio, right?
Yeah, pretty much. In Pickerington, and I, have family that are all Finnish, and from the Ashtabula area, and like right by Cleveland. It's like right up there.
Yeah.
The coldest part you could get to. That's where the Finnish people, that's where they decided to go, which is funny. They come to America and then they decide to go to, the coldest part they could find.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and then, from there, living here actually and growing up here, actually, I'll say that, there's a lot of cultural, stuff going on all the time. There's always shows happening, especially in campus, on OSU campus.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very famous place called the Legion of Doom. And there's a house on Indianola Street, just like a fucking house in like the middle. And they would fill up the basement with like fucking 600 people sometimes.
Is that right?
Fuck yeah. And they'd fuck this place up, dude. And, not in a bad way. It was all vegan punks, like,
Right.
but they would just go crazy. People would just rock out and stuff. So I get to see that every weekend. They'd have shows there sometimes during the week and stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then you had everything like the Newport and stuff out here. And, it was very accessible to see some of these bands that even like the bands that I got to hear about first in Europe from my uncles and stuff like that and cousins and stuff who were in Finland or in Greece or in Cyprus. They would all give me the new bands that were coming out there, and then they would ask for the new albums for the bands here that they couldn't get early, because we got everything early back then. The movies, we saw all that shit before them. Everybody's like, dude, what's fucking Star Wars like? And I was like, I already saw that shit, son. It's boring.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, dude, you see that shit. So yeah, so it's like I just kind of came up through it with that, and just was really into music as a kid, and just really liked all those bands. It just something hit me with it, and I played everything in school, and tried to play drums and tried to play guitar, and all the while doing sports at the same time. Just liked sports. My dad was into sports. My mom was kind of into fitness as well.
So it's like a family thing.
Sure,
heritage
definitely,
thing,
yeah. I mean, especially the sports. Everybody played soccer, played tennis or something like that. So
well, I don't want to,
but then listen to death metal, which was weird, I
guess. And to that point, actually, I guess my musical tastes run more eclectic.
Yeah.
The standard fare, classic
But I like
rock
that shit too,
stuff.
man. I listen to Sabbath, get Clapton, all that stuff's great.
How come, and I go all the way through, I guess you'd call it thrash, would be Metallica and stuff like that,
of course,
okay?
Me too. Same here.
And,
that's what got me into it too.
But what is that piece that allowed you to continue on into the even more specific subsets, do you think, into the darker, heavier metals, where all of a sudden, somebody like me, where I get lost?
Sure, man. Well, because it's so complex, this stuff to play. And when I was a kid, and I heard, for instance, I'll give you an example of a record. When I heard Cradle of Filth do, something off of what is the name of this album? Sometimes I forget the name of the albums. I know it was 1998. I can tell you that.
Okay.
But that album, the one about the Elizabeth Bathory, like some of the drumming on that record from the drummer there, was so fucking phenomenal. Like you just wanted to learn. I just wanted to learn how to play that kind of stuff and just be as complex as possible. So I didn't really look at it like, well, this is dark and this is scary. For some reason, the actual playing of it was very intriguing. So that's why I liked bands like like I said, like Black Sabbath or something. Tony Iommi's phenomenal.
Right.
How does this guy come up with that?
Yeah, especially Missing Fingers.
Right. That's the other thing, and it's partly is that also part of the reason why it does sound like that?
Right.
Because that makes a weird effect off of the strings from these weird metal things he had is replacing his fingers.
Right.
So he almost made distortion off of that kind of happen. So that's kind of weird. I don't know, but I just see stuff like that, and that made me want to do music.
So you think it was a taste then for it to be even more refined, more complex, maybe is the right word?
Sure. Yeah, but I really understood a lot of the Scandinavian bands, like In Flames, and the more, for some reason, I don't know why I like the fucking Swedish bands, but I did, like At the Gates, In Flames, and Dark Tranquillity, these kind of bands. They were taking everything that they liked from every band and doing it. And they weren't like afraid of somebody saying, oh, well, you're fucking not death metal, or you're not satanic, or talking about blood and guts. And that's what I liked about it, because I liked everything from Dream Theater to Dark Funeral.
Okay.
Or Hypocrisy or something.
And yeah, Dream Theater is one of those ones that you actually hear about fairly often.
Sure.
And
they're so well-rounded.
But it's funny because as a group, I see them as an extension of groups like Rush.
Yes.
More than I see as
same with Rush. It's the same.
Okay.
There's eras, I think, of those bands where sometimes like Rush was chasing, 80s popularity, doing the synthesizers and shit, and having these pop songs. Same with Judas Priest or whatever, chasing some sort of fame, making sure that they can make the money, and just wanting to be staying at the top. Motley Crue did that shit. They fucked up and.
It's like staying relevant.
Staying relevant is, for some reason, more important than music to some of these people. It becomes that after a while. And that's just not something I can fucking deal with. I can't even handle that shit. So if the music is cool and it's interesting and different, I'll do it.
But there's a respect for the type of music you do, though, that's based largely on authenticity, isn't there?
Yes.
I mean,
being a good musician is a big. I mean,
kind of can't fake what you guys do.
No,
you're either.
And you can't fake to be Zakk Wylde either. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the thing. Like that guy sat there and fucking played that scale 50 billion times to be able to play like that.
To get there.
Yeah. And that dude's not doing this for pussy.
Right.
You know, that you're gonna go write, Bop if you're doing it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, top 40.
Yeah, you're gonna go write a Poison song or something if you're in the 80s or whatever. That's where I come from is the 80s, so like it's, I remember that stuff. That back then, even when I was a kid, I was like, there's something not right here. But for some reason, when I heard Van Halen, I go, there's something right about that.
Something real about
something
it.
Something real is there. But these other guys, Warrant, something's not right there. Something's fake.
Yeah.
I see it as a kid.
Well, there's definitely a production quality to anything that's entertainment, right? Yeah. Isn't that accepted as sort of being kind of
depends
baked
on
in?
who you ask, because if you're a black metal guy, you want the production to be low quality, so it sounds evil and scary.
Is that right?
They call that in Norway. They call it the necro sound, and that's a real thing. Look that up, kids.
So, God forbid you have like you're not gonna have multicolored lights. And
no, that's bad. You want it to be black and white.
White.
And these guys actually did, and I'm not shitting you. Like they did, like there's a million bands like, and still today there's a million bands. Like, they use a 4-track, and they put like they want the worst microphone they can find, like like a microphone for a computer from 1993.
Okay.
And then scream into that as loud as you can to make it most distortion you can, and to make it as fucking scary as it can sound. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So there's like a thing to that too. People find some sort of solitude in that sound and feeling, which is weird. And I feel that sometimes too on some songs. I like some of that shit.
It's very much in the energy that the punk rock scene kind of came out of, right?
Yeah, very punk. It's very punk. It's a punk mentality. To burn churches down, dude, like those bands did in Norway.
Right.
That's a punk rock mentality.
That's some crazy shit. A lot of I saw that in that documentary, the History of Heavy Metal or something like that, where they talked about that.
There's really one called When the Light Takes Us. You should check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real one. That's a really done well one. They talk to the real guys in that shit.
Wow.
And it's from them, so that's good.
Yeah, it's crazy dark, huh?
Very dark. Well, yeah, Norway's dark, man. It's fucking cold there. It's cold and dark.
The fans must be interesting.
They are, but most of them are nerds, man.
Is that right?
For that music, yeah. Our fans are actually pretty fucking cool. Every band that I'm in, all of our fans get it. They know what's up. They don't just like one style of music. They like everything. That's what I know. Like when we're on tour with Armageddon, we don't get people that are just like death metal guys.
Yeah.
No, they're there for everything. It's kind of cool.
Now, the Brazilian jiu-jitsu ties into this. I guess from the sports type background, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I started martial arts.
Or
when I was like 5. I was 5 when I started martial arts.
Okay.
So I started doing like taekwondo first down here and with Master Senkai Pak in Columbus, dog, like deep in the west side of Columbus.
Wow.
And they had fucking carpets back then, dude, on the floor. Like it was carpet, and there's people sweating and shit.
Like some shag rug.
It was, dude. It was 1980.
Orange shag.
It was 85, dude. And that's all we had back here then. We didn't have jiu-jitsu and shit. It just didn't exist, until later on. I think there's a few places that opened up, but so I just stayed involved in that stuff like all throughout my teenage years. But I didn't really practice it much because I dedicated my time to tennis, and I actually went to college for tennis.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's a true thing. I went to Wright State University for tennis, and I couldn't do it. I hated it. I wanted to just play music. So I stopped doing the tennis. But I got to the school and I liked it. And I did a nice year there and everything. It was cool. And then I was like, you have to really, this is like music. You have to stay really dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And I just loved the sport. I thought it was fun. And mostly I liked it. I think now that I look back on it, I liked it because I fucking liked the high school team I was on. And I liked those fucking guys. And we used to bullshit and have a blast.
It was a social thing.
Yeah, we would go take trips to Hilton Head Island and shit and play, and that was our whole, break and stuff. And what was this? What is it? Spring break? Spring break, we would do this.
Yeah.
And so I realized, like, okay, so I did enjoy it and I was good at it, So I had to choose one, and I just chose it because I was really good at it. So it was easy for me to just start to play immediately.
But it's an interesting thing. I don't know that I would peg somebody that went to college to play tennis also being. Am I wrong about that?
No, but I mean, that just tells you also where my head was, because as soon as I got to college, the only thing I did was look for a band.
Is that right? Yeah.
And I found one in a chemistry class.
In chemistry class.
Guy was wearing a Hot Water Music shirt, and I was like, "Sweet, dude, Hot Water." And he was like, "Yeah, man, this stuff's awesome." He's like, "I'm in a band that plays that kind of stuff." I'm like, "No shit." He's like, "Yeah, we're just messing around. We need a singer." I'm like, "No shit."
Well, boy, do I got an offer for you.
And that kid's name was Chip Heck, and that band was called Shady Side. That was some funny ass shit. And we were like an emo hardcore band before emo was a thing. And that was like in the year 2099 or something.
Is that right?
Yeah, some shit like that. And so I did that for a little bit, and that was nice. I did my first real tours with them in college. You know, we went on a van tour and like did like a little mini tour and shit. So, and that was a shitty fucking tour because we had like, you know, all of our stuff packed into a van and like, you know, no gas money. It was like, you know, really low level.
Right.
DIY booked and stuff from local people that, you know, we knew that came from other places and stuff and played shows in Dayton, where Wright State is. So I did that for a little bit, man. It was pretty funny. And then, but I knew then from doing that I could be in it, that I wanted to do it. That was the defining moment because it was so shitty that afterwards, after 2 weeks, I wanted to do it again. I said, I'll do it again. I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care how shitty it was. I want to play again. So I knew that, okay, you should try to do
well,
this.
You found a passion for something.
Yeah, and I knew it then. So I was like, okay, you should just fucking go for it and just stop fucking around. And then, funny enough, like right after that, my father got a job offer for a position at the university in Arizona. So then I moved there.
And that's your connection to 10th Planet Phoenix.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Because I
Okay.
was living there, and that's where I finished my school, and I did finish college and stuff. I just finished up my associate's degree and got got rid of it. Just, you know, you should always have some backup plan in case, you know, you fucking don't make it in music. But then I started.
That's very
there.
pragmatic, man. A lot of artists don't understand that.
Well, dude, I mean, because it's a fucking crazy business.
Yeah.
You know, so it takes a crazy mentality, and most people just say, fuck it, I'll be a bum. You know,
Right.
So that's the mentality. But some people get lucky. You know, like
Yeah, everybody can say, fuck it, I'll be a bum when they've never been one.
You see, that's the thing, dude. And then they motherfucking become a bum, and then they go,
sucks.
fuck this, I'm going to get a job, dude.
Yep.
I ain't playing no fucking band.
Yep.
And then it's no more band.
Yeah.
You know? And then they get a wife, and they don't want them to be in a fucking band. And you know, then you get a kid, and then fucking kid, yeah, you know, it's all big problems.
It's tough.
It's tough. So you have to know what you want to do and be sort of in your head.
Committed.
Yeah. And so I was. And when I went to Arizona, I was committed, and then now I just found bands that just weren't. Everybody was just the same thing as almost in Ohio, like want to play in local shows. Just play local. Don't care about moving on. Don't care about getting a good sounding album. You know, it sounds like which I think it should fucking sound like at least.
Yeah.
You know, quality, like you were saying. You know, kind of quality control. You know, after a while, you don't want to sound like a demo band that's
Right.
paying $100 for a fucking recording.
Right.
You want to do it right, and that takes you to fucking not spend your money on beer. You know, you have to spend your money on a fucking recording studio.
Yeah.
And people don't want to fucking do that. So I just said fuck it, and I heard from a friend that a very influential band that I was into from the very beginning of their career was looking for a singer, and I tried out for it, and I got it, and that was Nightrage. That's when I joined Nightrage, and they were at the time based in Sweden.
Okay.
So I flew from Arizona to Sweden, did a fucking audition, and
Got the gig.
Got the gig. He saw I was dedicated. He knew I knew the business and understood what was going on and stuff. So
There's a lot to that too, isn't there? There's a lot to being in the game.
Yeah.
You got to kind of be in the game to get the opportunity to begin with, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I was. You know, I was the one doing all the fucking work for all the bands I was in.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much. You know, and that, it gets annoying to be the one doing all the work. You know?
Yeah.
And it's still like that sometimes. You know, it's still like that shit. You know, I still feel like that.
Yeah, because bands are rarely equal shared loads, resources.
Yeah.
Especially bands.
Yes.
Especially bands.
Most people, bro, they just want to fucking have someone else do it for them. And that's why they don't want to get a Facebook going or get an Instagram going. And, oh, fuck, now there's nobody paying attention to it.
Yeah.
You know? No, because you're not building anything. You're not even sitting around thinking of ways to do it.
Yeah, they sort of neglect that there's a business aspect of it all that pays for all of that.
Yeah. Because it's a fantasy, man. It's a fucking fantasy.
Right.
Because they sit and watch fucking videos on TV. Well, I used to watch DVDs in VHS, but now they watch it on YouTube.
Right.
And if you sit there and if I play you that Pantera DVD, of them from Vulgar Display of Power, and you watch that fucking home video,
Right.
you're gonna want to get on a fucking tour bus immediately.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
because it looks fucking awesome.
Right.
All right, and that's all you're gonna do is sit around and talk about how fucking awesome it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna do any of that. They don't know any of the shit that it took those guys to do.
To get there.
Playing in bars for fucking 10 years. They played in
Right.
a bar for 10 years, man. 10 years.
Yeah.
People just don't fucking get that.
I talked with my last guest, Jeff Cody. We talked about this, and I think that there's something to that, though, that need for people to grind out like that in that bar for 10 years.
Yes.
Like, I feel that there's this part of the human condition that sort of requires you for anything to be amazing or in your life or joyful.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow you must first suffer for it.
For sure.
Okay, and he corrected me in that suffer is not actually the right word, you know. But I
What
don't
do you think it is?
I think what was he saying? He said
Suffer is the right word. I mean, that's what it is. It's fucking
But-
suffer.
but
it sucks.
the differentiation he used was that if you ask the person that's in the midst of it all if they were air quotes suffering, they would say no, I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing, you know.
Sure.
So he's saying that.
Okay.
So
I agree with him.
So I couldn't really come up with but there's something about needing
Maybe-
to try something that's really difficult.
What that reminds me of is like, you know Henry Rollins, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he wrote a very famous book called Get in the Van. Have you ever heard of this book?
He's written several books. Yes.
His first
Yeah.
one is called Get in the Van. And
Yeah.
it's literally just his diary about being in Black Flag.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask the guitarist who was in this band about that, right, when you read the book, it's like it's horror stories.
Right.
And when you ask the guitarist about it, he goes, dude, this guy acts like it's fucking Vietnam. It was a band. We just went on tour and yeah, a couple things happened. Like, so you see like his perception and his perception are just two different things
Yeah.
of how things are going. And
Right.
sometimes I feel like that guitar player, like, because you hear a lot of people like that just like they have done no work. Okay. And they just want it to happen like that. And that's the suffering part that you need to have is you have to work for it and then not think, oh, I'm going to get lucky and someone's just going to hear this. No, man, you have to go play. You have to go tour. You have to spend money and like literally pay a booking agent to put you on a tour. And ask your fucking mom for that money.
right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? And they don't
or
do
your
it.
girlfriend or
And
your wife.
And
or
they won't do it.
Yeah.
Because they're pussies.
Yeah. That's why when a lot of times I think when families start getting involved, if a certain level of success hasn't, and I say success in the terms of financial success here,
Sure,
okay,
sure.
hasn't been reached, when you actually have to take food off the table to pay for something band related, then that really starts to get,
dude.
that's a nut check.
Dude, I knew a
man.
guy, listen to me, man. I knew a guy that I was doing a project with, and he was like, oh, dude, we should buy Twitter followers. For $10, you can get like 1,000 followers. I was like, okay, dude, go ahead and do it. And he never did it. He couldn't even get fucking $10 together to put down.
Right.
For a fucking, and I was like, well, you don't want to buy followers anyway, because then that looks bad. Because if you buy followers, then when you have a new thing come out and no one cares about it,
Right.
you have 1,000, 100 followers,
Right.
100 million followers, that looks stupid, dude.
Yeah. Like it goes dud. Thud.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's why I only like post stuff that I think, oh, that's cool. You know, I found old pictures and shit. And I was like, oh, well, that's neat. You know, I'll post that, whatever. You know, I used to not do anything on social media, man. I used to fucking stay off it. I used to never touch it. I'd log in, like the guys in there with Armageddon would be like, dude, you got to fucking, we got this tour, dude. You got to fucking post. And I'd be like, all right, fucking forget the password. And I'd log in and I'd fucking post it and I'd just log out. And just
That was the end of it, huh?
That was the end of it. And
Well,
check out.
I kind of get that though, because I don't know that there's anything very metal about social media per se. You know what I mean? Especially back when it was really starting to get big. Maybe now it's accepted enough.
I mean, dude, like James Hetfield to me was like some sort of fictional character.
Right.
You
Yeah.
understand?
I'm not sure he isn't.
Scary. that guy, you know, like scary almost of a presence. Okay, and then you watch Some Kind of Monster, and then you look at him and you see social media, and you look at TMZ taking pictures of him walking out of a Prada store or whatever.
Right.
It's like, motherfucker, like, don't do that, man. I don't
Really,
want to see that
please.
shit, dude. This motherfucker wrote Master of Puppets, dude. I don't want
Right.
to know that. you know?
It hurts you in your soul, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it
Yeah,
does.
having that don't meet your heroes,
It
man.
does. and I've had that happen. I met fucking, or didn't meet him, but I had to deal with Alice Cooper once, and that fucking sucked.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were doing this festival with him in Sweden, and like this motherfucker made us sit in the rain, dude. because he closed down the backstage when he was going to go on stage at the festival. And we were in the rain, son, and I was eating my kebab in the rain. The milk sauce was ruined. Do you understand me? I was fucking livid, dude. I was walking around, pacing back and forth outside of where they had the security, where they had the doors shut.
How quickly Alice Cooper went from somebody you probably were like, it's fucking Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
if I catch that bitch.
I was pretty close. I saw his car drive off. As soon as he finished, he got in a car and drove off. And like he was driving past the dude, and I flipped the car off. So I was like, "Fuck you old fuck from Arizona, dude. Fuck you." You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's just weird, you know. Like,
but he had to go work on his golf game, man.
That's cool, man. Hey, I like golf too. See, I mean, you can't. I don't hate on that part of it. He's from Arizona. I lived in Arizona. But you know, man, it's just that's a weird way to treat people because you think that we're gonna bother you.
Yeah.
Like he thinks the band people are gonna, and that's happened to him, to him before.
I'm sure.
But
Yeah.
he made me sit out in the fucking rain, and my goddamn fries got soggy. And
right.
my fucking kebab with the milk sauce that I was really excited to get. I don't have that here. Okay, it doesn't happen here. You know, you have to get that shit in at a Swedish festival or something.
Oh shit.
And you know, it's done right. And you ruined my shit. So then I had to go back and get another one. It took forever because it was far away from the fucking backstage, dude. You had to walk through the festival.
So we're saying you're not a fan of Alice Cooper anymore.
That bothered me for
that
it.
really,
so, yeah, it bothered me with it. And then like some boys of mine from Greece came to Arizona. They're in this band called Riding Christ. And they came to Arizona, and they were like, Ella, Anthony, we have to go to Alice Cooper's town. And I was like, fuck Alice Cooper, son. And he was like, what the fuck? Don't say shit about Alice Cooper. Saki Stolis was like, so don't fucking say shit about Alice Cooper, man.
Welcome to my nightmare, bitch.
And I was like, dude, we'll go there, and we'll sit down, and I'll tell you the story. And he was like, whatever, I just want to have this Dave Mustaine burger. We had Dave Mustaine burgers. It was funny. Dave Mustaine has his own cheeseburger there. Alice Cooperstown. It's called Alice Cooperstown in Arizona, and it's
yeah, that's right.
You heard of that? Right? It's like ribs and all kinds of shit. It's like a sports bar.
Right.
It's pretty tight.
And he does shows
nice.
and shit from there too. I think.
Yeah, like local shows and shit.
Yeah.
You know, but they didn't play there. They played a place right next to it. It was, you know, I mean, whatever. It was just like some black metal place.
Well, I mean, Mark Wahlberg owns a car dealership in Columbus.
Yeah, that's amazing. And my wife and I, we went to. Thank you. We went to when we were living in Brooklyn. We went to Coney Island a lot.
Yeah.
And he had a Wahlburgers there, dog.
Yeah.
And we got to have one. We got to have a Wahlburgers and actually.
Is it any good?
Oh my God. It's homemade macaroni and cheese. The burger was huge. It was, dude, they have homemade onion rings. It was off the chain. It was off the chain. And he got rid of it. And they got rid of it. So. And it was weird. We don't understand why they got rid of it. But that space there in Coney Island.
Wahlburgers is gone now?
In Coney Island.
Okay.
Because then that space there, they move stuff. And they'll have like laser tag there one year. And then, you know, it's right next to where they do the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. It's like right next to that.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. You go there and watch these fools just vomit on hot dogs. We got to see 4th of July there, too. That's pretty cool there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty.
It's funny. My wife's actually friends with the Wahlbergs.
Oh, cool.
Friends with people that are best.
You should
Everybody
tell them
in New England is
here.
attached to either the Wahlbergs or Adam Sandler.
Wow.
Okay.
Weird.
It's really strange. So everybody in New Hampshire tries to connect themselves to Adam Sandler, and everybody in Massachusetts tries to connect themselves
to Wahlbergs.
To the Wahlbergs. But she was close enough to him that when New Kids on the Block was on tour, she got tickets,
okay.
Special tickets
back
and
then,
things like
dude.
that.
Oh, I hated them back then, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were mortal enemies about us, dude. That was like not cool.
That kind of music period.
Dude,
yeah.
I would be in the bus telling people to fuck you all day with that shit. I was like, fuck that.
But you like the hamburgers.
I do, man.
Yeah.
You should tell your wife to get it hooked up.
Get it hooked up.
Please send him a message and say, hey. Because that would do phenomenal here.
I think they're opening one in Columbus.
They should.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Because if they did, it would blow up.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. The food's great. We waited in line for over an hour to get it. You know what I
Now,
mean?
you've been around a lot. So what's your favorite burger chain period? Like you an In-N-Out burger guy?
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one thing I miss about the West Coast was those. I mean, as soon as I land in Arizona, my mom takes me to get one. She still lives out there. So, but yeah, that's good. What else is pretty good? Well, I'll tell you what. When we lived in New York City, man, Brooklyn, brother, they have every place delivers. So there's an app called Seamless. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No.
Yeah. So when you live in New York, you would get this app. You would just get it. And every place, whether it's a Chinese place, a Greek place, an Italian place, Thai, Japanese, whatever, they will bring it to your door.
Okay.
And you can just get we got gourmet burgers from this Greek place, man. Yeah. And it was like feta cheese with mushrooms and just the biggest I mean, yeah. So those places kill everything.
It's funny if you've never traveled, and I was later in life before I actually spent any time like on Manhattan,
sure,
and Long Island and stuff like that. People don't understand when you go into a big city, there's no such thing as a bad meal.
No. Not in that place.
Especially New York City or Chicago or Boston.
Sure. Louisiana.
Because the real estate is so flippin' expensive that if your restaurant sucks, you're out of business in like 2 weeks.
And that happens a lot, too.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. We watch places come and go. And I couldn't believe, I thought Wahlburgers would be there forever.
Yeah.
And it left in 1 year. And I was like, what the fuck?
It was almost more for promotion.
I keep thinking that Coney Island's a weird place, so I think that they just bring things in and out of there all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like a mall. They circulate
sort
shit
of,
through,
yeah. I mean, we went there a lot, and we would go swimming there, so that was our thing,
My last trip to New York City was I blew through pretty quick, but it was like I said, like
Manhattan
it was where I was on Long Island Expressway, so I was on Long Island, and
that's where the only 10th Planet is in Long Island.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I never even got the chance to check it out. That's why I went and luckily found Dan Coble there. So,
well, I want to talk about your journey with 10th Planet for sure, man.
Cool.
So you start with 10th Planet.
Yeah.
That's
still my family, dude. 10th Planet Phoenix. Yeah.
Phoenix. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. 10th Planet Phoenix. That's where I started, and I think I started in 2015 maybe.
Okay.
Started to take it serious, like I'm going to go to a school and check this shit out.
Yeah.
I knew a couple things from some friends and stuff that had done wrestling and stuff in high school and whatever. And they always told me I should have wrestled, and they said I had the build for it.
Right.
I just never had the time. Music and tennis, fuck it.
Yeah.
Chicks and everything was impossible. So basically when I was like, thinking of where should I go, I started looking on YouTube, and I started seeing like, okay, what are some different techniques from these schools? And I started checking Hinzo Gracie, started checking out Hicks and Gracie schools, Gracie Barra,
right?
And so of course 10th Planet, and I found through that. I remember the first video I saw was Denny. He was a Greek guy, and he's one of Eddie's first black belts, and actually became friends with this dude. Became boys with him. He did some work at the 10th Planet School in Phoenix. Did some classes for us there. It was pretty sweet. But I saw him do a instructional on there, and it was so a lot of information in one little 5-minute one little 5-minute drill. There was so many details,
right?
And it made me understand a little bit better than how everybody else was sort of showing me. You know what I mean? And so I just chose to go there, and the first time I walked into the door, like everybody there was just awesome.
Yeah,
the people were just cool. So that made me like totally fine with going back, and I just kept going back and going back and going back. And but it was hard in the beginning, man. Because at first, like, I had a lot of touring to do, and I was recording a lot of songs. I remember at that time, especially, I was writing a record for a couple of things, a couple of different projects, and I just couldn't get there all the time.
Right.
So I would go like a month or so without it, and then I come back and get murdered.
Yeah.
And just get busted up by these fools. And, I'm talking, now it's pretty funny, Kyle Bohm, he's one of the guys that's, doing really well out there. And, he walked in when he was a white belt, but he walked in and just destroyed people. So those are the kind of guys that were walking into that gym, you know what I mean? And just lighting people up. So I'd get lit up quick after not being there for a couple of weeks. But that trained me John Bateo, who's the head instructor there, the black belt there, he got me very well prepared to go to New York when I moved there and work with the Marcel Garcia guys, and then work with Dan Coble, who's one of Marcelo's black belts, and then got my blue belt through him. And then once I moved out here, I was moving out here for touring and stuff like that too, because it was a little bit less expensive for us to live in Brooklyn
Oh, sure.
Kind of finding like a nicer house in New York at first, and then we was like, we just kept finding cheaper stuff here.
Yeah.
So
same thing that got me here.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
so that's what made us pretty much stay and sort of like kind of stay here. And then of course, I went to John, Jen.
Yeah.
Eddie's one of Eddie's guys, so, and I've worked with Eddie a lot, and Eddie's sweet. So
yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that gold nugget of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu right in the middle of Central Ohio.
It's pretty crazy, man. People don't get it, and that's fine. Don't worry. Don't get it yet. Until you see it. That's the thing. They'll come and they'll see it. And then
I just happened into it so much by luck.
Right.
Because
how'd you get into it? Yeah.
Well, it was something I started pursuing when I was in New England, when I lived in New England, and then.
Did you go to that one up there?
No, I never got the balls.
Because John Bateo, the guy who's the black belt in Phoenix, his brown belt runs one in Massachusetts.
Yeah, that would be in. I guess that would be in Chicopee. I think is where it's at. It's right in or Springfield. It's in Springfield, Mass.
Yes,
yeah, it's right in Central Mass.
I was going to look it up. Yeah, you're right. Springfield.
I actually still do a lot of work up there.
Okay, you should go in there, man. If you ever get a chance, Pat's cool, and he's one of John's guys. So he has John up there for to do
like seminars
and all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to get John to do one with Barrows here.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome. Get him out here, but he's like on West Coast, man. West Coast storm.
It's too far.
No,
but fly past.
Yeah, he'll go for his brown belt, but he won't go for me. That's just fine because I'm just his white belt. So.
Right.
He gave me my white belt. He gave me all my white belt bruises. So.
No, it's stunning though. You're right. There is like this, and there's nucleuses of this all over the country. But that's one of the reasons that I sort of was drawn to 10th Planet was that because I travel, because I'm an engineer, traveling rodeo. There was always some place I could at least get close to a gym, and go in and roll with guys, It hasn't worked out that way yet. I've just been like one day out and back.
I know, man. I keep seeing like, where the fuck is this guy, dude? And then one day you're in, one day you're out. Then I see you on Facebook for a second, then you're out. And I'm like, damn, dude, where's this dude at? But yeah. That's why it's funny. I didn't even know you did podcasts until you hit me up about it. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, I love doing this because, number one, I'm not letting anybody down. I don't have a band. I've played in bands. Okay, but I'm never like, yeah, man, I said I'd play that wedding with you, or I said I'd play that gig with you, but I got to screw because somebody wants to make beer.
Yeah, dude.
So I don't have those issues, and it's very flexible. I can do 2 or 3 of these in a week, and then be on the road for 2 or 3 weeks.
That's what me and my bass player from Armageddon, we do this project called Forever Burn, and that's how we do that. Like, we just do covers, and if we ever get bored and we do an original song, we'll fucking do one.
Right.
And we just do videos and covers, and dude, if it's just the two of us, we get everything fucking done. It's crazy. But when you have to, like, rely on other people, like, nothing gets fucking done.
No.
Dude. You'll never get anything done.
Yeah. And it's maddening, man.
It blows my mind.
There's a lot more sacrifice that goes into group sports like that.
Dude, do you really want to keep doing that same fucking job that you're doing? Like, dude, you can do this, I mean, just to put a little faith into yourself and don't be scared to lose something. If you lose something, fuck it.
Well, and people put themselves in, I don't know what it is, but in positions where they're very vulnerable that way,
for sure.
So, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I'm more of a jump in the deep end and swim.
Yeah, me too.
And figure it out kind of guy. But man, there's a lot of people that aren't like that, and I don't understand.
I know. I used to get real fucking pissed off about it, man. When I was a kid, I had this band in Arizona, man, and we were really fucking good.
Yeah.
And this drummer, man, he just wouldn't fucking get it together.
When
he'd get fucking 2 different chicks pregnant and shit, and it's like, dude, man, motherfucker, and he was so good. Now, when I mean good, not just drumming, he played me stuff where he was doing all the instruments. And I was like, dude, this is phenomenal. Like, you have an album of, like, music, and it's great, and you've never done anything with it. And he was one of these dudes who just, like, lived off, like, he was, like, a loser kid, you know what I mean? That, like, went to the military just because he was a loser kid, you know what I mean? And it's like, he went to the Air Force because of that. And it's like, dude, don't just go to the Air Force because you're burning out, man. Go because you want to fucking help somebody.
That's a terrible reason to join the military.
And a lot of motherfuckers do that shit.
Yeah, I know.
And dude, and I was in a band with some people that were like that. They just joined because they did too much acid in high school. And they still had aspirations to be in a band and stuff. And it was fucked up because it was just me and another guy who was, again, just me and another guy writing the songs. You know what I mean? and these other dudes just couldn't do it. They just couldn't get it together.
Man, you know
It's a
what's
waste of
great
talent.
though is today though with the tools that are available, it can be one or two guys. That's kind of the point.
And that's what we've been figuring out ourselves, me and Andrew, because we're old and we just figured this out.
Mm-hmm.
That all we have to do is just plug a fucking camera up and just sing the song and send it to him over there.
Yeah,
He lives in fucking New Jersey, man.
It's just
he lives in
data.
New Jersey, dude.
Right.
You know, and we do this. It looks like we did in the same room.
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't. We did it all different.
Yeah, it's just data. I've already looked into, because I've got people that are trying to get me to produce podcasts for them.
Nice. That's great.
But they're all over the damn place.
Sure.
That's the problem, right?
Sure.
So I've already started looking into how to
Remote in and and you can. There's flash top. There's all
absolutely.
kinds of fucking stuff. That's what I did when I was.
It's
working in
crazy
IT.
that I can get good high quality bitstream audio from somebody that's in another state someplace. So there's no reason I can't.
Everything's
produce
on the
shows
cloud,
for 'em.
man.
Yeah.
Everything's backed up and stored on
What
the cloud.
is the cloud?
Dude, what's the cloud? And you know how many fucking old ladies I had to explain that to when I did IT? Blew my mind. That's what made me want to do music so much.
But here's the one. How many people have to explain to them still what a podcast is?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my grandma's like that. I explained to her what we were doing today.
What
She's
is
like,
the
what
Google?
What are you doing again? I'm like, it's like an interview, okay? It's like,
So that's how. So the 10th Planet thing from you started way back, pretty much in your journey and beginning in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, that's why I went there first off, is because Denny Prokopos Malakos, he does great teaching seminars, and that got me to go there. And then John Mateo is the same. You know, he's one of these black belts, so it was the same kind of setup, and just it's real friendly and you know, real chill. Everyone goes real easy. Unless you're a white belt, and you got this shit in your eyes, and you get hit in the face, and then there's spazzy white belt syndrome, and that's the only time you really get busted up, I think, is when you have a blue belt on, and then people are like, "Good fucking go, let's bust this motherfucker up."
Yeah, you're like bait.
Shit, man, now I have to fuck this dude up. I just wanted to roll light. I'm tired. You know, I'm 38 years old, dude. Relax.
I was there was a fear factor that slowed me down from going the first time. Yeah, man.
Why?
I'm fucking
Scared to get tapped out?
I'm 46.
Don't be scared. Yeah, that's the one thing it didn't.
Don't be scared, homie.
That's it. That's how I was like, if these guys tap me out, look. Yeah. Here's how I thought of it too. I looked at it. He's charging $125 a month for this unlimited. That's a lot of fucking money for most people. That's a lot of money. Now for me, that wasn't that much money, and I could just do it.
Right.
I could just give him sometimes three months down first. You know.
Yep.
Sometimes Jen would have to fucking hunt me down because I'd forget.
Yeah.
But $125 is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going somewhere and they kick your ass so bad, are you gonna feel bad?
No, you're still fine.
Oh, sorry. Are you gonna go back there and pay 150 fucking bucks a month?
Right.
You're not. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna pay to get beat up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I knew I'd be all right. I knew that whatever pain they're gonna put you in, it's just to get your stripe, pretty much.
Yeah. Because the problem is I think if someone goes out and researches it on the YouTube,
right.
The impression that I got was, okay, when you show up the first day, you get mugged.
Huh.
You know,
I just looked up lessons on
like the
YouTube.
old school stories of like from Rogan and from Eddie Bravo and stuff talking about.
Sure.
Well, but I never put two and two together and figured out, well, that doesn't work that way anymore now.
Right.
You know, so I was really, I guess, you know, it took a little bit to get kind of over that hump. However, it was completely imagined.
Yeah.
It was unwarranted.
I mean,
entirely.
I've never seen a dojo storm yet.
No.
In my life, I've been doing this for almost 4 years and doing it a lot.
That shit
every day.
doesn't
and
happen.
Shit don't happen, dude. People come in announced and want to come in and want their ass beat so they can learn some shit.
Yeah, and since I've been there, I've seen some guys come in that were MMA guys that came specifically for John.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've choked them out too.
Yeah, right, right.
And some of them you don't. Some of them are good and they know what they're fucking doing, and some of them don't.
But that was now I'm to the point with it where for me it's about life experience, man.
Sure.
And it can be.
Yeah.
You know, if and when I ever see a belt of any color, I'll be just as amazed as everybody else. You know?
I know, dude. That's why I was when Koval gave me my belt. I was like, oh shit, weird. Like he's giving me a belt. Like I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was, you know, a white belt, you know, even though I was, you know, tapping some guys with some color on their belts, but, you know, never thought that I would just get it that quickly. Yeah, just that quick. So it's cool.
Yeah, some guys just take
happens,
fish to water,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I don't know. I mean, because when I first started, like I said, I was real frustrated. Because
Well, what was it you were looking for?
What do you mean?
Okay, so I went into it here's what I was looking for. I was looking for the experience of participating in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's it. Like, I just wanted, because I heard so much about it, I wanted to at least go experience it. Okay, so for me, it's an experiential type thing.
For me,
yep.
I saw Choke.
Oh, the documentary. Great documentary.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got to figure this out.
Yeah. It's excellent.
Who is this dude?
Yeah.
And that is my, I was a very big fan of Bruce Lee as a kid.
Yeah.
And that guy, is my Bruce Lee. That's why another reason I loved, the 10th Planet Phoenix, that Mateo, he's one of his blue belts. He's one of Hickson's blue belts. So that was a big reason why I went there too. I was like, oh, sweet. And he has got stories, he's met his dad, and he's got pictures with his dad and shit. It's pretty cool, man. It's a nice legacy to have, to be from the beginning to this huge evolution that Eddie took it through.
Right.
And then kind of even with, my lineage, I have some Marcelo Garcia in me, which is also part of the 10th Planet system.
Yeah, by default, by proxy.
By proxy.
Yeah, that's one of the things I learned that was really fascinating to me. There's two things that really struck me as odd because, number one, inside the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, there is tremendous respect paid to those lineages.
Sure.
Across the board.
Sure, man.
Okay, no one's hating or anything. I haven't seen it yet.
It happens. I mean, I think there's a few shitters out there that treat it like a religion and just, it's only the gi, man. I've seen shit like that, but fuck that.
No, I haven't experienced it yet. I'm sure it's out there.
Everyone should roll in the gi. I'll tell you that right now. If you think that rolling in the gi is a mistake, you are wrong. Everyone should roll in the gi. Check it out. You want to cut some fucking weight, roll in the gi.
Yeah, right.
You want to get choked the fuck out with something else other than someone's arm, roll in the gi. It's pretty fun. It's a different experience. Now, watching it, sure, man, it's boring as hell. I'll be the first one to say that. It's boring as fuck to watch a gi match, dude. You ever watched them on a TV? It's boring, dude.
Well, let me say, I watched the highlights.
Yeah, right.
To
sure.
The point when something happens.
Of course.
Right.
Then maybe, sure. Yeah. If it got a highlight reel, sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's boring. You know? You'll watch all the fucking no-gi matches, though, won't you?
Yeah.
Because it's sweet.
It moves.
But they're both, it's both beneficial to roll in, I think. Even though we don't do it at 10th Planet, I would still do it if I found a place here. I just haven't found anywhere really to do it. So, but my boy Emil Fischer, Uncle Fischer, he's a pretty well-known guy around here, and he knows some places. He's a buddy of mine, so he said he's going to take me around and see what's out there.
What do they call those? I heard it, the first time I ever heard this was Anthony Bourdain was talking about these weird, they call them hot holes or something like that. They're not official BJJ schools, but they're places where guys get together and roll.
Oh.
There's a name for it, though. First time I heard
dude, they're all over in fucking New York, too.
Is that right?
And they stink.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have, places, dude, where they've got shoes piled up in the corner. And just, the sweat on the mat, dude, is, in puddles. And, dude, it's not a good place to go. Don't ever go.
There's, this weird, dark underground.
It's stupid. Don't do it.
Is that right?
Yeah, dude, that's dumb. You want to go learn from a motherfucker who's been somewhere and done some competition.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And if you want to, if you're trying to compete and you're trying to compete and win worlds, sure, you need to go to a place like that and get your ass beat. I guarantee it.
Get some reps in, kind of thing.
Some heavy sparring like that. If you want to win ADCC, you want to win that kind of tournament, win Submania, that's one thing. But to win worlds, the Pan Ams and stuff, it's a whole different game. And you got to do crazy types of fucking training to do that. So I'm sure that's in some people's repertoire, but for guys like us, fuck that, dude.
We'll
stick with where we are. It's fine.
I have no delusions of grandeur. No delusions,
because they just want to hurt you there, man. That's what they're looking to do. They're looking to get the ultimate rep, which is to choke you out.
Yeah, so Anthony Bourdain said he was shitting bone chips because they wrecked him so bad at one of these things.
Bone chip.
I'm like, what the?
Because he was an old motherfucker too.
Yeah, I mean, and he was addicted to BJJ.
Yeah. And I think I heard that somewhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah, him and who else I thought was funny that was into jiu-jitsu was the guy from Married with Children.
Yeah,
did you know that?
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy from.
I know you're talking the dad.
Yeah,
from Married with Children.
He was in that funny movie too.
Yeah.
Dutch.
Yeah.
where he paid like the stepdad.
I'm trying to think what his name is. I can't remember now.
Damn,
You asked me too fast. But yeah, there's all kinds of strange people that that you wouldn't. I shouldn't call them strange people. That's mean. I don't know if they're strange or not. They could be very nice people.
I don't think they're strange. They're probably fine. We're married with children.
People you wouldn't expect, I guess, is what I'm saying. That are participants in this sport.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill.
That's
Yep.
who it is.
Yep. On the computer over there with the lightning fast skills.
Dude, that's what I'm telling you. I did IT, bro. I had to look up stuff, you know. Did you ever I send people that, I used to send people that shit. Let me Google that for you.
Right.
You ever send that?
I've got the Google, so I'm a researcher now, you know.
It's awesome. Sweet. But yeah, so yeah, the journey has been a fun one. I've gotten to roll with some pretty interesting people.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of seminars with Eddie, you know, and you know, had him tell me I suck. Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna get told
back then,
if you're gonna get told by somebody, might as well be him, huh?
no, it was cool. You're just joking around. It's just I was a white belt back then, so I didn't know what I was doing. But luckily, I had a good set of people that helped me learn.
Yeah,
learn quick. So.
No, I think that that was the thing, was the familial aspect of it was what really surprised me. Secondly, was when you actually.
Did you ever wrestle in high school?
I didn't, man.
No, you didn't?
No, man, I didn't even like really play sports or anything like that.
Oh, shit.
In high school.
Well, damn,
yeah.
you're pretty good for someone who's never done any.
Yeah, I'm a farm kid.
Okay.
So that I guess.
So was I.
I wrestled pigs. You know? I never wrestled pigs.
Well, we did. I mean, and like you know, like yeah, we did. We fucking shot everything and killed it and ate it,
hunted and stuff like that. Yeah.
Big
So I guess if I get it anyway, that would be it. But
right.
But that would when I finally broke down and was like, all right, I'm just gonna go do this. I don't give a shit. And it was all in part of a process of like losing weight and trying to get in shape and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. That was I was already in some sort of actually one year, like around 2012, 13, I hurt my knee pretty bad playing tennis with my dad actually. So I actually wasn't able to like run or really work out very well. So like I actually put on a little bit of weight, and then once my knee got a bit better, about a year later, I started to get back in the gym, and then that's when I did it. After I got lost a little weight, lost about 10 pounds. I finally got that off, and then got back in shape. And so I think that is a big part of it, man. Like, you know, like if you're in shape right off the bat, you'll adapt to it quick.
It's easier.
It's way easier.
Yeah.
Easier. Because if you're not, dude, some people will just quit.
Oh, I never understood how bad I could gas out or run out of breath in such a short period of time.
Same here, man. Wow. I used to remember like looking up at the clock and going, dude, 4 minutes? Are these guys fucking crazy?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to die.
Right.
And then I remember being in Manhattan and rolling with Dan Coble and doing 30 minutes with him. 30 minutes we did.
Yeah, you start to learn to conserve energy. I mean,
it's weird.
I don't think my cardiovascular health has gotten that much better from the first day I went to jiu-jitsu to now. Okay? I just don't think it has.
You don't?
No, I think it's gotten a little better, but I don't think it's... But I think what happens is you learn like an efficiency of energy. You start to learn how to breathe, when to breathe, how to keep people off of you, you know, in such a way that you can breathe, you know?
Sure.
That's
just
all part of the game.
I always like that saying, being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's the best one, because that's what it is. You're in a really uncomfortable situation with a dude on top of you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been on top of guys and watched them shake before. Like, shake, like, I don't know if they're shaking because they're scared or if they're shaking because they're trying to.
So hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Exertion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where John would be like, if you're trying that hard, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's the other thing that kind of, I mean, as an engineer, you know, they kind of roast me about this, but everything to me is about energy and leverage and all this kind of stuff, right?
Same with music, man.
Yeah, same. Yep, exact same thing.
Gotta have an energy. You gotta have something into it that you like. Same with jiu-jitsu. If you don't have the right energy for it, you're gonna fail at it probably.
It's just fascinating to me how much 4 centimeters or half an inch or a quarter of an inch here makes the difference between something just falling apart and somebody literally flying through the air.
For sure.
You know, and it's so subtle how it works.
Yeah, it's funny because I'll roll with a white belt or a new blue belt or something like that, and just eat them up.
Yeah.
And then I'll roll with someone like Barrows right afterwards, and then they'll do literally the same match, and it'll be reversed.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that's getting eaten alive.
Just getting owned.
Just getting crushed.
Yep.
And that's why I always look at those guys and say, "You see that? You see? I got beat." You know what I mean? Don't worry about it, man. You know, you're going to lose a couple of times to get better.
I tell my kids, one of my clues to knowing that you're getting good at something is when you start to realize how little you actually know about it.
Yeah.
Okay. and it was the same thing for me on guitar. When I finally got to a virtuoso level on guitar, then you watch somebody like Mark Knopfler, and you're just like, I don't even know where to fucking begin with the technique. Whoever it is, you start to, but at least you know enough to realize how stupid you really are. It's like, that's that maddening point.
Yeah, I even think that with even like, you know, I'll listen to something even like, what was that guy? Corey Taylor. We were laughing. Corey Taylor, you know, the Slipknot guy. Like, you know, he's got a pretty decent voice actually for a guy who just screams most of the time in a lot of his songs. He has a really decent voice, and some soul is there. You know, it's like the same thing with Robert Plant. There's a soul there, you know, behind that. You can't go to school and learn that.
Right.
I mean,
it's earned.
You'll sound like a show tune, like hello.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they end up sounding like if you teach somebody how to sing. You have to have like a soul with it or something. I don't know. It's weird.
It's an intimate instrument.
But I get paid for that too, and I tell them, it's like, what the fuck? Like I just got paid for this project I'm doing with another pretty well-known drummer. I won't say what it is yet because the guy hasn't finished anything yet, so I don't want to say what it is.
Right.
I'll let him do that because he paid me for it. It's this dude from Australia, and it's like, it was just like, okay, wow, I just did like another project where I'm getting paid to write my fucking own feelings down,
right,
and sing them, and then just send it to him, and then he has a piece of my soul.
Yeah,
and he paid for it. So
yeah,
but then I try to look at it a little bit better. Like, okay, we're in a band. We're just, you know.
Well, that's kind of it, isn't it? And then isn't that the sort of the life of the artist anyway? Is basically what you do is you cut a chunk of yourself off every night on stage and you leave it there.
Pretty much. Especially on stage, that's the best one.
And you're lucky if you heal fast enough that by the end of it, there's some of you left. You know what I mean? That's when you look at the great, it's all about torture, and it's all about that whole
tortured souls.
Because if you get up there and you're fake, you're going to be singing on cruise ships. Yes. You're going to be singing jingles.
And there's metal bands who sing on cruise ships now, which is pretty funny.
That's bizarre.
I still haven't done one of those, but hey, it's a thing now. There are a lot of big bands that do them. Like there's one called 70,000 Tons of Metal.
Oh shit! Maybe I shouldn't be saying cruise ships.
No, but it's weird. Like you pay, dude, to like go on. Like you'll go with Overkill, and like Motorhead did one before Lemmy died. It was called the Motorhead Cruise.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they bought a boat, not bought it, but they rented it. You know.
Yeah.
And they work with a cruise line, and then all these fucking fans
Yep.
pay to be on a boat with their favorite band for 3 fucking days, and they do tours, literally, like not a tour, but they do like full on, like 5 or 6 bands. 10 bands, and it's a huge cargo.
So they take like one of those big
and they fucking play on there.
Yeah,
type of Kiss does it.
Music festival on the ocean. It's not interfering with the recording at all.
No, I know.
It's just the headphones.
It's okay.
So my new headphone amplifier is fucking with us today.
It's fine,
folks.
man. As long as I know people hearing us, it's all good. But yeah, it's like it's a thing now. It's like, you know, they'll play on the cruise ship. And like my guitar player from Armageddon, he's in a band called Dark Tranquility now. That's why we don't play in Armageddon very much anymore, because he's just doing that mostly.
Okay.
But anyway, he was on one of those very recently. And he was like, dude, I'm gonna be stuck on the fucking boat with these people.
That's what I would think. That would be like, isn't that the natural?
But then he said it was tight. He said he went in and did it, and it was tight.
And it was all right.
He liked it. So yeah, we thought that at first, but then he did it. And he said it was cool.
I guess it all depends on your fans.
Yeah, well, of course, you have great fans, but
if you got great fans,
but you still have to be around all these other people that are fucking fans of random shit, and then they see that you were on stage, and it's like, dude, can you fucking come here and take a picture of my wife with her Mai Tai? I was like, are you taking pictures with Mai Tais and the fucking Caribbean sun, dude, with your guitar, like, playing some fucking death metal? It's hilarious.
It is getting to be quite the thing, though. You're right about that, because all of those big gaming conventions, like they all have, like
everyone's got a cruise, right?
They got their cruise now,
sure.
Yeah. So there must be something to it.
There's like a marijuana cruise. There's everything cruise.
Yeah.
There's a guitar cruise. There's a Game of Thrones cruise.
Well, I've seen those what they call it, band camp type things, where you can pay to go to like rock camp or something like that.
Rock School of Rock.
Yeah.
Yes.
And spend a weekend getting trained, whatever, by your rock idols.
Ted Nugent. Trains you in some bow hunting.
Yeah.
Some guitar.
Jerky eating, some bow hunting.
That'd be sweet, dude. That'd be tight. I would love that.
Yeah, that. By the way, that opening track, you were right, is inspired by Ted Nugent.
It's a little Ted Nugent-ish. I did it.
Definitely.
Listen, you're talking to trained ears, my friend. Okay. This you can't pass a riff off by me, dog.
A huge fan of Stranglehold.
Nice,
for sure.
dude. Yeah, I mean that's my shit. I love that guy. Like me and my boy, this guy used I don't used to know, I still fucking know him. But this buddy of mine who's also a Finnish guy, and he lives in Arizona. It's like the only Finnish people I knew in Arizona, but they live there. It's dude, Yardi Beastman.
God, poor Finns in Arizona.
Oh, but dude,
don't you guys just burst into flames as soon as you walk outside down there?
Yeah, I'm a different person. He's a little older, and his wife is a little older. Yeah, and she actually grew up in Arizona. She did the same thing I did, but in Arizona. So she speaks like it with a fucking total American accent, like I do. Mm-hmm. She speaks Finnish, and she looks Finnish. Mm-hmm. But Yardi is not from Finland or from Arizona. He's from Finland, and he moved to the West Coast to be in a band, and he makes guitars and does construction now and stuff, whatever. And this dude, like, he always played Ted Nugent. Yeah, and he used to make his own guitars. He still does, and he has like one of the sickest Ted Nugent inspired guitars he made.
Oh, Les Paul inspired, yeah.
Yardi Beastman and custom guitars is pretty tight. Yeah, he still makes a few here and there, but yeah, it's there's one Finnish guy gets a shout out.
Yeah, he's a Ted Nugent. The how do I say this? The on stage Ted Nugent, I'm a big fan of.
Sure.
The off the stage Ted Nugent.
Fuck.
I'm not so sure, you know.
Whatever,
I can kind of take you.
He's crazy. I mean, dude, imagine what that guy's been through. Like,
yeah,
it's fucking crazy, dude. He's been through some.
He's got a lot of validation for his views because of that, right? Sure. Because of where he comes from, and that's that's that whole bias you get from regional bias. You probably really recognize that with as much world traveling.
Yes, dude. Yes, I mean, I remember when, again, just from being from here, there's just racism on every corner and bias on every corner, and bigotry on every corner. It's growing up white, dude. It's cool. You can just talk shit about everybody.
Yeah, right.
It kind of sucks. Because especially in Europe, because they look down on that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're like, dude, is it really that bad there? It's like, yeah.
In some places, it's really
fucking bad, dude.
Yeah,
yeah, people
really
still suck.
Bad.
Yeah. And he's perpetuating that, even though he's, like, doing it in this really weird roundabout way, and that just sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks because Stranglehold's badass, dude.
Oh, right.
Riff's sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm of the opinion of shut the fuck up and write an album, dude.
Yeah. I'm very.
Look at my fucking social media. Did you see any shit I'm posting about my fucking political views?
No.
Man? Fuck that.
No.
I'm trying to write songs here,
right.
man, and just have fun and live life and do jujitsu and not,
I got trapped in that world, man, for years.
It's hard, right?
I got trapped in it to the point where I actually worked for presidential campaigns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bubba.
Damn.
And I, boy, kiss those years of my life goodbye.
Yeah,
because that's right.
But it's a learning situation.
Yeah,
right? You learn from that.
I had to. I had to realize how irrelevant I really
and how
am
much,
to that process.
How much you end up looking like a fucking. You're just the same as a person up there, protesting animal rights or abortion rights.
You're just a gong.
Yeah,
bong, bong, bong.
You're just making yourself feel good.
Yeah,
doing that shit.
So now it's all about. Once I kind of had that illusion shatter and everything's where all of this BJJ
cool,
and the podcast.
But look at that.
Look at
from that. You actually did something creative and inspiring and positive and not some bullshit.
I'm willing to love the artist past. I'm willing to love the art and the artist for their art, and put the fact that they're flawed human beings aside. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'm allowed to I'm willing. And I say that, but I do have some obvious exceptions. For instance, I will never watch the fucking Cosby Show again in my life.
Dude, right, dude?
Okay.
What happened there, bro?
Ever.
Oh,
man, I just can't do it.
Bro, I mean, and I grew up on, Mortimer Magic Marker, son.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I learned my ABCs.
Picture pages.
I learned my ABCs from that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's hard. Yeah, dude. And we all watched that show. We all liked it. We all thought it was funny. And then you just realize, man, people are fucking crazy.
Dude is a weird
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Having
Turns
people, fucking tuck him in shit at night and all that kind of weird shit.
And we don't even have to say allegedly anymore, right? Because he was convicted.
3 to 10 years.
Yeah. He's convicted.
He's considered a violent sexual predator. Is it? So
Yeah, he has to register and
60
shit, man.
fucking people come out
Weird
and say
world.
you did some shit, dude. You did some shit. maybe 2 or 3 of those people are crazy and you didn't do that. But at least 58 of them are. Right?
So there's an instance where I'm not going to love the art of the artist past the art.
Of
You know,
course.
there's stuff. There's obvious like limits to that.
Like
I suppose.
same thing with the dude from who's the guy Sharon Tate's husband. Like,
Oh, you're talking about Charles Manson?
no, Polanski.
Oh, right. No, Roman Polanski.
There's
I'm sorry.
another-
Yeah, Sharon
So
Tate was murdered.
Yeah,
There's a whole
she
other
was part of
connection.
it. Yeah. Well, there you go. Like, there's another thing.
Right.
Like, where do we draw the line?
Right.
You know, like on this shit. It's fucked up.
Yeah, that one still trips me out
trippy,
too, man.
right? It's
Yeah,
trippy.
it's bizarre. And then there's that Seville guy or whatever that's in the UK. This
Oh yeah, that guy.
I can't even, dude.
Yeah,
I
dude.
can't even open the articles on that shit anymore.
dude.
I'm just Jesus Christ Almighty.
It's just
You
too
know?
much. How did this guy get away with all that shit?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. But I don't know how we got down this dark road. But anyway,
That's how it happens, my friend. We still got time. We're good.
You got to write. You got to write a song, right? About the.
I've written many songs about shit like that. I just don't tell people what they are.
Is that right?
Yeah. I like you to listen to this shit, read those lyrics, and figure it out on your own and do something with it. Because those were my favorite songs, man, as a kid. Like, listening, you didn't have the internet. You couldn't just message this motherfucker and be like, hey, dude, what'd you write this song about? And then they'd be like, well, I actually wrote it about this. And then they start typing your fucking email.
Yeah.
But, so
Thank
you had
you
to.
for asking.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I have people do that. They ask me all that kind of stuff, and I always just give them the shitty response of figure it out for yourself, sir.
Well,
Because,
and I don't think as an artist you have the right to take that interpretation away. Maybe.
No, I agree with you.
I'm of the mind.
I want
that
the
let-
interpretation.
Right.
I want it.
Let them live their
Yes.
experience.
See, that's again, my favorite songs have meaning to me because I was in a position to make them have some meaning,
Right.
and put them with the situation, and that's what makes music somewhat therapeutic.
Yeah.
to people.
Sure.
And so if you don't do that, and you kind of, and then I would read sometimes in interviews and shit, I'd read like what it was about. I'd be like, fuck, that's some dumbass shit. Like some Typo Negative lyrics. I love Typo Negative. I'm a huge fan of that band. And then I would just listen to some of his lyrics and be like, dude, just don't get it, man. I love your fucking music, but just don't get it. I don't get what you're talking about.
Can't relate.
Can't relate to it. Yeah, I can't relate to silly lyrics. He would write silly lyrics sometimes.
Yeah.
About like his girlfriend and wanting to kill her. Or stupid shit like that.
It just doesn't resonate.
It doesn't resonate. I didn't grow up in Brighton Beach, so he's singing about Brighton. I lived close to it once, but I didn't grow up there. So when I was listening to those songs, I didn't know what the fuck Brighton Beach was. I was like, where the fuck is Brighton Beach? I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I'd find out later. It's a haven for hot Russian girls.
Is that what it is?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's all there is Russian kids there. What a show. Crazy Russian kids.
I think that one of the worst things I ever did as a fan.
They're afraid of Finnish people because we used to fucking beat their ass.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
The Russians?
Well, yeah, they tried to invade Finland in the World War II.
Yeah.
We beat their asses on bicycles, son. They were bringing tanks in, son. We came in with bikes, son. Bikes.
Take your shit back home.
They were scared. We had some pretty good snipers too.
I think one of the worst things you can do, speaking of lyrics, one of the worst things I ever did was actually sit down with the lyrics to Tool, the band Tool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
read the lyrics
There's one.
because you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
You know what? So
because it works when he's singing it,
here's
right?
my theory.
It totally does.
Here's my theory because I'm a Tool fan too, bro.
Yeah.
So here's my theory.
Total fan. I'm saying
Huge fan here. Huge fan. But I'm with you. And you know what I think it is? I'll tell you. I think as a singer.
Yeah.
This dude, especially this dude, he's a fucking really good singer.
Yeah.
So he just speaks melodies. So he's not really trying to come up with lyrics as much as he's trying to come up with a melody. So he could just be like doing,
just like freestyle,
whatever.
Finding words that
fit because this sounds sweet. And I do that a lot.
Oh.
I will sit there and I will just do that. Not just the clean parts, even with the extreme screaming parts and the death metal parts. I want to find a rhythm that works. So I'm going to put words with that rhythm. That's the hardest part with music, is to make it mean something.
Right.
And then also make it work with the music.
That's a really strange commitment, though, man, because generally it would be about a story. But here you're saying that the commitment there so much is to the song melodically or whatever.
To me.
sonically.
Some other people might be the other way. I have to get my fucking message out.
Yeah.
So they'll be like,
let me bang my gong.
yeah,
bang,
dude.
bang,
I mean, they'll
bang.
find a way to scream about fucking veganism or whatever, which is
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I like a lot of straight edge vegan bands. It's cool. But you can do that.
Yeah.
You can find a way to just write lyrics about what you think is cool and find a way to fit it in, but it might not be the best sounding shit. So I want to find the best sounding shit.
Yeah.
And I'll do that first, and then worry about like what message are we sending here.
Yeah, but you're not writing country music, man.
No. So there's no format. So there's no
restriction either.
No restriction. Yeah, there's no format. There's no like it has to be okay. We did our song about the dead dog. Now we got to do one about the porch.
Right.
And now we got to do the love song, and now we got to do the rocker, and we should open with the rocker, and then we should go with the love song as the second single because we want bitches to be happy.
Yeah. Oh, this time we got to have a hot 40.
Hot 40 hit.
Got to have a hot 40 on this
it
album.
happens a lot, and that's something I never had to experience in my life. It's great. All the labels I work for, they pay us because they want to hear us do what we do.
Do what you do.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. They like the demo. They like the band. So they're not fucking around.
Do you think that the ability for people to home produce and create at the level that they do now has made things better or worse? And why?
I don't know.
It's tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's better because, dude, I can make money with someone in Australia.
But so can
You know what I mean?
so many other people that
Sure, but they're not that
necessarily
good.
shouldn't be.
Well,
So does it create too much noise?
but are they doing anything? That's the thing, is those people don't really get much notice. It's what you do with it and get noticed. How did you get noticed?
Yeah.
Are you getting noticed for being dumb? Okay, that's cool. There's that fucking song my wife and I were watching called the Moo song, where this girl was like, bitch, moo. Moo. It was like some funny shit on World Star. And it was a dumbass fucking song, and it went viral because it was dumb. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's never going to have any fucking, it's not going to be, the next Nirvana.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's all you have to worry about because you'll know the next Nirvana.
So you think
It'll
it's
be real.
overall it's a better thing than that these tools
Yeah,
are
I'd never be
available?
scared of technology. The only thing you should do is not lose heart. That's the problem. His heart is lost sometimes through having technology do the work for you, maybe. Which I think is, again, it's a really weird, twisty, turny thing because I've had friend producers of mine. They've actually manipulated my voice because I didn't want to fucking sing it again.
Okay.
Because I'm
fair,
fucking tired.
Right? I'm
You know what I
done,
mean?
damn
I'm
it.
done, yeah. So I got it as close as I can get it. Now use the technology we have and nobody even
And do
fucking
it.
tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for the most part, I get it there 100%. And everyone's going to use it to be perfect. You want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like it to sound perfect. And then there's some stuff that is done maybe not to sound perfect. Like maybe you want to write an album that sounds like the first Led Zeppelin record.
Yeah.
Cool. Go do it.
Yeah. And put it on analog tape.
Put it on tape.
Yeah.
Put it on tape and put it on vinyl and sell it. People might buy it because they like that old school shit.
Well, there's a natural compression
Sure.
from using analog tape.
Of course.
That you get the digital stuff at
Nope.
all.
And I used to use analog. I've done both. I've
Yeah.
done it all. I've done analog that was transferred to digital, which was weird. I don't know why we did that, but that was like an old Shady Side thing, I think. I can't remember. Those
Is that
guys,
right?
Yeah. If any of those guys ever hear this podcast, I don't know if they will, but if they do, they could maybe tell.
The hardcore audiophiles, man, say that you can't get there without vinyl, and you can't get there. Right? There's certain things. There's a warmth to it, and especially
Yep.
with tape. There's a
Yep.
warmth to it.
And that's the only thing that sells now, too, for bands is vinyl.
Yeah.
Like you can't really release CDs anymore.
Yeah.
Labels still do it with packages. I was telling some guys like that the other day. I was saying, friends of mine was asking me how do you guys even make any money off of album sales? I was like, well, most of the time, if there's any physical sale, it's from the label. The label's doing like a T-shirt with its CD and a sticker, and you pay $20 for it.
Okay.
And they'll take the loss on the huge margin they used to charge for that shit because they can't make the money anymore.
Right.
And then they'll sell that, so they'll make some CDs.
Box sets.
Yeah,
commemorative.
maybe, sure.
Yeah.
If you're a big band, you
Yeah.
get that, sure. Like
So there's a gimmick involved. I don't want to call it a gimmick.
a gimmick, but yeah,
it's
there's a sales pitch
Yeah.
there with that. And then it's the same thing when we go on tour. If a band goes on tour, they'll give you CDs because then they'll know you will sell them on tour because people want you to sign them.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So basically, it's the door now. Bands are back to the door and
Yep.
some merch.
Yep, it's the merch.
It's
That's
the
only
merch.
way you can make money is merch. There's no other way. That's it.
Wow, weird, right?
That's why you have to be on tour constantly. If you want
Yeah.
to really do this and really make money. That's why everyone's like, so that's what I was telling you before. It's funny when you know, I've been in projects and shit, and people are talking, dude, we're gonna do this, we're gonna blow up, and they don't fucking do one thing. They don't do any social media. They don't fucking do anything. All they're talking about is just, let's smoke some weed, dude, write a riff, dude, sweet, dude, we're gonna be so big, and that's it. And that's the way it is. And it stops there.
Someplace business has to happen.
And that's the problem, is that they don't want to do that part.
You know, it's
boring.
I've talked to Lauren Curtis. She's going to be back on for Halloween. We've talked to several, and she's one that's popping in my head. These are artists.
Play some Misfit songs on Halloween, dog. Don't forget.
Well, she's an actual professional artist.
Yeah.
She works as an artist, makes her living as an artist and stuff. And when you talk to these folks, you start to find out it's about
marketing,
and it's about work.
It's work.
It's a job, man. It's not, oh, I've been inspired today, and now give me my Learjet.
Trust me, when I'm doing those videos with Andrew for fucking Forever Burn, I'm like, I don't want to do it today. And he's like, all right, hurry up, we got to get this done. And I fuck, all right, let's do it. I'll do it today, and then I get it done. You know? And then it's out. And that's the only way. It's the only way I you know, you make any name for yourself is to continue to put out product.
You have to
do something. Even if I'm not touring, I'll still put out like songs like that shit, you know, just to keep going. You
know? I know you're coming up on your limit here at like 3 something, right?
I am, sure.
So we've been going about an hour and 15 minutes, but you got some stuff. There's got to be some folks or something going on that you want to talk about coming up.
Let me look here. Let me check my Palm Pilot.
No, literally, folks, he's got a Palm Pilot.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking. Here comes the stylist.
I'm just joking. No, but yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing I have to plug is just me and Andrew, my bassist from Armageddon. We're doing this this little project of our. It's on YouTube, and it's called Forever Burn, and we just do like covers of our favorite bands and stuff, and like we even just did one of Alice in Chains.
Is that right?
Yeah, but before we've only done like death metal stuff,
right?
And then we would do something like Catatonia, which is all clean vocals. It's not death metal at all, and so you know I'm in that with him, and then he's in another band called Framework, which I was like, dude, do you want me to plug something for you? He's like, dude, totally fucking plug this for me. So I was like, all right. So this is Andrew's plug, dude. So Andrew, frameworkinj.bandcamp.com, and then foreverburnbandcamp.com too. And just check me out, Antony Hämäläinen, on Instagram, Facebook. I'm the only one with that weird fucking name, dude. So it's easy to find me.
We'll get you. I'll put some links too.
Yeah. Just Google me, dog. If you just
stuff,
Google me, you'll see all the stupid shit I've done in my life, and you'll be excited.
It's interesting, man. I'm so glad I met you.
Yeah, man,
so
you too. Glad I roll with you.
Yeah, it's fun as shit, bro.
Get back into class, dude.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I've been out traveling so damn much, but I'm eager to get back.
Same here. That's why I was happy to kind of get some time off and be able to start rolling again, because I haven't done it for so long. I've been playing shows and fucking around my whole life.
Well, good enough.
Cool, man.
All right, folks.
Have
that's
me
the
back.
show.
I'll definitely want to come back.
Absolutely,
man. Awesome.
Man. Yeah.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, as soon as possible, bro. You're local, so it's easy to have you back.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
30 minutes, dude.
Damn. All right, folks, that's the show. Appreciate you listening. Thanks, everybody out there, for all the likes and subscribes, and especially for the shares and promoting us. We couldn't do it without you. The new website's up and running. That's noshitcast.com, KNOWSHITCAST.com. Up in the right-hand corner of that page, you want to give us some support. You can become a Patreon or patron. I'm not even sure how that's pronounced. So, shows you how interested in it I am, actually. So, other than that, that's the show, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye.